Good morning. Welcome back. Monday morning, Zento sales snippet. Start of another awesome week. My name's Mike Warren. Thank you for joining me. Today, serious subject of objections. Now, it doesn't have to be that serious. Sometimes we get too focused on objections. What objections did you get? Did you overcome them? We don't need always to take objections quite so seriously if we have a strategy to minimize them, and then if we have a strategy to resolve them if we do get them. In the good old days when I started in this industry about 20 years ago, we used to spend all the time, not at the beginning, but at the end of the sales process, focusing on resolving objections and overcoming issues. Now we're a little bit smarter. We understand in our sales process, we've got to spend more time at the beginning, building rapport, establishing needs, resolving potential objections way before the tour, way before the prices. So if you're getting more than 2 or 3 objections after you've put the money on the table, that's a sign you've got to go back and start looking at ways to minimize your objections. Now, last time we talked about TVAIMS: time, value, affordability, inconvenience, motivation, spousal support. You've got to define the objections. That's the main 6 categories, and you've got to understand that strategies need to be in place to discover potential objections and minimize them so that when you get to the end, really the only one left should be affordability. And when you put the prices down, if you're talking about times, or you're talking about frequency, or if you're talking about motivation, you haven't done everything possible at the outset to minimize those objections. Then if you start to get objections, you still need to have a strategy in place to resolve those. The first thing is welcome them. We look at getting somewhere between 3 or 4 objections during the sales process, otherwise the prospective member isn't interested in your product. If you're getting a prospect simply saying, yes, I like it here, yes, it's good, yes, sir. If they're yes people all the way through, it's most likely they're not buying into your tour or your sales process, and you'll get a no at the very end. So people who have an objection, have a question, have a concern, that's a sign they are interested enough to want more information. So get excited about welcoming objections and have a strategy in place. Step 1, when you get an objection, relax. Take a breath, take time so that you have a plan in place. Sometimes if you spend 20 or 30 minutes with a prospective member and they give you an objection, look, it's just too expensive, it can feel like a slap in the face. So it's nice to go, it's not personal, it's not about me. I need to take a step back before I resolve that objection. So step 1 is to relax. Step 2 is to empathize. Clearly define the difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is buying into a pity party, getting involved in the reasons as to why they can't do it or why they can't move forward. Empathy is simply understanding their point of view, understanding their position, putting your feet in their shoes and getting their perspective. If you don't give them good empathy, genuine empathy, when they get that first objection, then you won't get subsequent objections. So make sure you empathize. Mary, I understand how you feel. I see where you're coming from. I know where you're at. Empathize with them with genuine interest, and then you can move forward. Step 1, breathe in, relax. Step 2, empathize. Third step, the biggest step that we miss out, but the most important, is to isolate exactly what the objection is. Now, it's too expensive may be the objection. However, when you isolate it, Mary, when you say it's too expensive, is it the joining fee or is it the ongoing fees? It forces the prospect to give you a definition of exactly what their objection is. Look, I just don't have time. When you say you don't have time, Mary, is it the frequency or is it the times of the day you're coming in? Isolate the specific objection before making any attempt to resolve it. Otherwise, you may make a mistake and try and resolve an objection that isn't in line with the particular objection you're being given. First step, breathe in, relax. Second step, I empathize with the person. I understand how you feel, see where you're coming from. Third step, isolate. What exactly is the objection you're giving me? And the last step in the process is to resolve or provide a solution. Sometimes you may not have the solution, but you're doing your best to resolve the objection. The most important thing when resolving an objection is to use what we call a loaded assist. That simply means if someone says, I don't have time, and your solution is, how about I give you a personal trainer or organise a time-friendly program for you, that's one solution. But the way you use a loaded assist is simply to say, Mary, if I could design a program that fitted in and made it easy for you to fit into your time budget, would you be happy to get started today? Mary, if I could make this affordable for you, would you be happy to get started today? So a loaded assist simply says that don't just provide a solution, provide a, if I could give you this solution, would you be happy to get started today? Otherwise, you're giving a solution without a buy-in to any forward-moving commitment. First step, breathe in, relax. Second step, empathize. Third step, isolate. Fourth step, resolve with a forward-moving assist. So it makes things forward-moving so that the sales process continues. Also understand that sometimes when you overcome an objection, you may discover another one, which is cool, because all you're doing is peeling away the onion to get to the core of the problem. So today we're talking objections. First of all, minimize them. Go back to TVAIMS and make sure you minimize the objections. Secondly, welcome them. Thirdly, have a strategy in place to resolve them. Empathize, isolate, resolve after you've taken a big deep breath and relaxed. That's today's Zento sales snippet. Now, if you want an extended version, 60 minutes, with the PowerPoints and the workbooks and all the stuff that we would use when we're training your staff, you can get that by clicking on the link below, and I'll give you information on the training tools from each of these snippets. Have an awesome week. See you back next Monday for a Zento sales snippet. My name's Mike Warren. Thank you. Cheers.